Yo, what up, my beautiful dowdies? How is everyone doing today? I'm your host, Fao, and let's talk about Feixiao. In a few days' time, Feixiao is going to be live as a banner, and I think a lot of people are very excited for this character. But what can we expect a little bit? And I really wanted to talk about her strength, Is she going to be the next best DPS? And where does she stand in the meta? And I just want to talk about her team options and if she's worth considering for your account. So let's get straight into it. Is Feixiao going to be worth considering in Honkai Star Rail? Feixiao is going to be a Wind Hunt character. Now, Hunt as a whole in Honkai Star Rail has been a little bit of a, I wouldn't say forgotten card, but has been mistreated a little bit in the past, right? I think Boot Hill was the first Hunt character that really showed, okay, this class or this path, can deal a lot of damage. I think in the past with Zayla was still a little bit of an awkward conversation, Still to this day, people think that Zayla is very good or very bad. I still think that she has a lot of potential. She just takes a lot of investment. One of the most high investment characters that we have in the game right now, and that's why she is so locked behind good and bad damage, because if you don't crit on Zayla, it's disgusting, right? And Dr. Ratio and Topaz also were pretty good, but we all knew that Dr. Ratio was probably going to get power crept one day, and I think that day is finally going to be there. I think Feixiao is going to be the next best thing, especially for the follow-up attack roster, right? For that follow-up attack team with Feixiao, Topaz, Robin, and then Aventurine or Linksha. That is probably going to be like the best team setup for Feixiao, and is probably going to change up the meta a lot. I think Feixiao with her best team setup is a force to be reckoned with, and she's 100% going to be dominating all content, I think she's going to slap in MOC, Apocalyptic Shadow, and Pure Fiction is going to be a little bit of a different story. And it's probably not going to be that great because she is really catered around that single target damage. But the other two, she's going to shine a lot in. And speaking of that, I do think that Acheron still has that going for her as an all-rounder good unit, I do think that she clears all three endgame modes very efficiently. I do think that Feixiao still has an edge over Apocalyptic Shadow over her, 100%. Also because Topaz as a sub DPS is going to do a lot for the team, because you, instead of like Harmony units, most of the time you just want to have that more damage to get through. And I think Topaz and Feixiao are going to be a very good combination there. And Feixiao as a whole is going to be very interesting because it is kind of like an Acheron, right? Acheron also doesn't use energy, and she wants to apply debuffs on the enemy, and then she gets stacks for her ultimate. Feixiao is going to do the exact same things, but for attacks. Follow-up attacks. So the amount of attacks your team does, she gets stacks, and then at max stacks, she could then do that insane ultimate where she goes Super Saiyan and just kills everything, right? Or that single target unit. But I think that Feixiao is 100% going to be top 3 DPSs. I think we have a list now, and there's going to be Acheron, Firefly, and Feixiao. Now, guys, the conversation is going to be way harder and way more difficult, because Feixiao is going to be a new force to be reckoned with in this tier. Now, I think the conversation with like Ron May and Robin was already like a very big thing. I still think that Ron May is leagues above Ron May, my opinion, just the things that she brings and the stats, But now it was Firefly and Acheron with the DPS roster, and that got like lashed out. Think Acheron won now because she got that JQ, we got the Foxboy, and that really shows a very big power spike all of a sudden in team building. And Firefly had that with Ron May, Acheron has her support now. But now Feixiao has all of her supports around her. She has Topaz, Robin, and Linksha, which is also going to be a very good option if you don't have Aventurine. They're all in the same patch. This patch is going to be follow-up attack galore, right? It's crazy if you want to consider Feixiao. Now, before you pull, right, the topic of this video, really, yes, she's going to be worth it. Guys, I cannot stress enough, if you love follow-up attack, right, you will love Feixiao. Ratio is getting benched. It is what it is, guys. It is very sad to see this, but Feixiao will just do it better. Now, does it mean that Dr. Ratio is going to be bad and not playable? Probably not. That's for another video. I'm working on that video, so that is way too deep of a conversation. But Feixiao speaking, you guys are going to have a very good time, and I don't think you can go wrong. Now, is Feixiao worth it without Topaz, Robin, or whatever? That is really what I wanted to talk about with you guys in this video, because we have all the components in one patch, and we all know our free-to-play brothers and sisters out here, Same with Kafka Black Swan, what I said in a previous video, which also I still want to talk about in a separate video. If you cannot pick up both, then it's a bit rough. You know, if you can only pick up Kafka or Black Swan, guaranteed, right? Then it's starting to look like a bit of a awkward story, right? And I think that is going to be a little bit of the same with Feixiao, but Feixiao does have good free-to-play options. And the DOT team is just not completed yet, so that's a whole other story. If we have, let's say, we have Mosa on the banner, that could be a good option. We have the Hunt Path March 7th, you know, that has actually some really cool synergy with Feixiao. Now we have Gallagher. Gallagher could be a very good supportive unit or a sustainer for that, for free-to-play option then, yeah, right? And then for like a third option, you could just actually put March 7th and Mosa in the same composition, I think. Because Mosa is kind of like a budget Topaz in a way. I think Mosa is great. I think March 7 is great. But of course, if you have Topaz Robin, you're clearly going to see a difference. Those are limited 5-star units, and the other ones are 4-star. So Feixiao, Mosa, and then March 7th plus, I think Gallagher is your best option, unless you have another 5-star thingy. Maybe you have Aventurine, actually, and you can do that. It does fall off drastically, I think. It is going to be very hard for me to say if this composition is going to be very good also with the free-to-play option, because Firefly is one of those great examples, right? Acheron doesn't have this. Acheron is also very good with like Pela and stuff, or whatever option you have. Even if you have a Welt or something, or that Gallagher, she still is very strong. She's very consistent if you just have good relics on her and stats. Firefly falls off very hard if you do not have that Run May, or if you're not using the Harmony Trailblazer. So I wonder how this is going to be with Feixiao. If Feixiao is going to be the same as Firefly, if you are starting to want to pick up follow-up attack, or you're a newer player, I would maybe wait for like a rerun. But yet again, if you are trying to pick it up, you know that you want to main this, then it is a perfect time to start picking up as many units as you can, you know? Start picking up that Feixiao, start picking up that Robin, and start picking up that Topaz. Because though with the other reruns, you're going to pick it up when they're rerun again, right? If they're not getting power crap. It's a bit of an awkward story, this patch. If you really want more consistent damage and you want the biggest numbers possible and you don't care what composition that might be, and you cannot pick up Feixiao, Topaz, whatever, then it's starting to be more of a skip angle. But Feixiao is going to be very good. And if you are needing a second team, or you're struggling with something and you have the room to build a new team composition, then it's starting to be a better story, right? Because it's starting to be a better environment to start building this composition. And I'm pretty sure she's going to function as well with March 7 and Mosa. Now, Mosa is going to be a separate video as well. Too much things to talk about because his relationship with Topaz. And I do think, let's say you don't have Robin or you don't have Topaz, then you can do Feixiao, March or Mosa, and then Topaz or Robin. I think you can make a very cool composition there. But keeping a premium unit premium, we do really want to look out for these crazy compositions. And I do think that most of you do have like a Robin or a Topaz. And I do think that the follow-up fanatics do have like Dr. Ratio, Topaz, Robin, Aventurine. They have that composition. So technically speaking, for you guys, you just have to pick up Feixiao and you guys are smooth. You know, it's chilling. You guys are relaxing and you just have to build a new character. And you probably have enough for Feixiao. I highly recommend you guys just picking up Feixiao then, you know. All the follow-up fanatics, it's a no-brainer for you guys. Pick up Feixiao. And if you are missing a Robin or a Topaz, pick that one up as well, right? You probably have some sort of composition already. Now, if you are missing everything, what we said before, it's starting to be more difficult, but try the best you can. If you love follow-up attack, you know, and this is like your favorite comp ever, you have to try to make the best out of it, and you have to start trying to pick up the pieces. Now, you know, just plan ahead, think ahead, try to maximize your jades, you know, try to do all the events, try to collect as many things as you can, try to pick up all these components. Speaking of strength, I don't think you can go wrong. Team composition and team building, you know, you can be a little bit awkward there, what we talked about just now, but actual strength-wise, character strength, stats, and whatever, Feixiao, I don't think you can go wrong with that character. With the right team setup, with the right love and right investment, I don't think Feixiao can be bad ever, right? It's very nice. She's a very good unit. For the single target roster, she's going to be the queen, right? If we have AoE debuffing for Acheron, Break is Firefly, Feixiao is going to be the single target monster in this game. And it is very pleasant to see that they are like trying to give every path or role or playstyle a little bit of a character like that, which also is kind of like destructive in a way, because we all know now maybe that every composition is just going to have one broken DPS. If you have that DPS, it's going to be better than the others, you know, like that Boot Hill and Firefly. But Honkai Star Rail is showing a very big, diverse roster as a whole. Yes, DOT right now is looking like very awkward and stuff, but what I said in the previous video, I do think that Kafka is going to be that S plus god tier unit when we do get that right setup. And Feixiao has that setup. Firefly has that setup. Acheron now has that setup. So I don't necessarily want to say that Feixiao is just now top 3 in the mix of just broken characters. She is just super strong and she's just very comfortable to use. And with the right setup that she has, you know, her premium setup, she just goes off. So Star Rail is just very good at trying to sell you good setups and good playstyles, you know. And the follow-up attack roster right now is just getting a lot of love, you know. We did get Robin soon. We got Aventurine. We are getting Lingsha now as a flexible option there. And now we got Feixiao. Over the past months, follow-up attack really became a good composition or something to consider. So, if you love this character, of course, just pull for it, right? You can make it work. And I always say on this channel, fun above everything else, guys. If you're not having fun, if you don't have the characters that you love and adore, then what are you doing, right? Pick the characters that you want. Even though you don't have Robin and Topaz, maybe, you can make it work, and you can maybe snatch one of the two as well. I would consider go for Robin first, though. I do think Robin has overall more account value, and you can be fine. If you summon for Feixiao, you're going to get Mosa, so you'll be fine. Try to pick up those two, and you're going to have a good time. So, I do recommend picking up Robin with Feixiao if you're going to pull for Feixiao, but if you are just considering her as a fun character or what her strength is, she's going to be a very good DPS for your account. I think that Feixiao really fits in that like second generation with the Acheron and Firefly. I think Dale and Jing Liu and stuff like that, Zayla, were all first generation characters. She is going to have a very good time. With the release of the game, with more characters coming up, I don't think that Feixiao can really fall behind, you know. I do think that she is going to be the single target monster and just straight up T0 character. So you guys are in for a good ride, you know. Don't stress, think ahead, plan everything, and do some logical thinking here and there, and you'll be fine. Hey, I would love to hear what you guys think about Feixiao, what you're going to do in the comments down below. You know, we can all help each other out here because it is a very rough patch. Maybe share your strategies as well, what you're going to do if you are missing a lot of puzzle pieces still for the follow-up deck roster. I would love to hear who you're going to pull for, what team building you're going to do. You know, I would love to hear all of that in the comments down below. Make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Means the world to me if you could do that. Make sure to join the Discord. We're trying to grow the community even further. And if you want to support the channel even further, then become a member. I love you all, and I'll see everyone in the next video. Take care. Peace.